Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Laz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday. Hello, Walnut. It is me, Laz, here for another episode of Walnut Wednesday. Today is a very interesting episode because I'm going to air some dirty laundry. It's not really that dirty, but I just finished a little bout of PA work after work, finishing 9 to 5 work, and I was feeling a little bit like tired. Just feeling a bit tired, and I thought, oh no, I need to record an episode. I want to tell Walnut all about the things, and I really wanted to do that today. So I mustered up this little oomph of energy to hit record, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to pull myself a card just to give me a little bit of guidance on how I should navigate through this episode, because it is quite the walnutting that I have to share with you. Well, it's not really, is it a walnutting? I mean, a little bit. There's a lot to discuss, but the card that came up for me, number 13, which is a very feminine number, energy, and it says, a light inside my fire divine, energy fill me, make me shine. So I just like said that out loud to myself when I hit record. That's why I'm dork grinning. So yeah, I'm going to come at you with literally the last of my energy that I can squish out to tell you about my walnutting this week. Walnut, I am now in the zone where I am able, well, not able, I've been able to this whole time, but where I am feeling comfortable to share something with you. As you know, I have been alluding to Walnut Wednesday space is going to change. I'm navigating how I am going to do my 9 to 5 life, how I'm going to do my PA life, how I'm going to do podcast life with a whole big shift coming on. I've been telling you all about how I've been trying to take things day by day and be very present, and how I've been forced to be really present. And that is because the strangest thing has happened to me. Walnut. Oh, I feel so strange saying it. I'm sure you can guess. Why do I feel like crying? Walnut, I am pregnant. Laz is pregnant, and it's very weird to say. And I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about it, and that is why I have done a little shuffle through the walnut tree, just because things are going to get a little bit squishy, a little bit personal, and private, I suppose. You know, oh, how private can it really be if I'm on a public platform? But, you know, just between you and I, Walnut, outside of my little circle, in my walnut circle. So where do I even begin, Walnut? I think the last time I sort of talked to you about this was that I felt quite pressured by society and by all of the things that everyone was telling me about my body and blah, 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 and that I had made my own decision. And I was kind of talking with you about how, you know, you need to listen. There will come a time where you need to stop listening to everyone else and getting the advice of everyone else and come back to yourself. And I ended up with that, and Geordie and I ended up trying to not try, if that makes sense. So I was kind of acclimatizing to the fact that that was going to happen, and it was very strange and it was very weird. And yeah, it's the strangest thing, Walnut, when you've been trying to prevent something for basically all of your life since you've been doing the deed, and then just not. It's quite a head fuck. It's like really, really strange. Um, so that had been going on. I don't know, should this episode be like my story, the story of how it happened? Like, do you even want to know, Walnut? I guess maybe I need you to tell me if what you want to hear more of and everything, but I'm kind of going to use Walnut Wednesday through this because everything literally is a freaking walnutting right now. As my kind of like log of feelings. So this is kind of like backtracking a good little while. Not a good little while. I can tell you the number of weeks, but it's yeah. let's just start at the beginning. So that was hard. That was strange to just like be having sex and not like run to the chemist to get a morning after pill or like it was very, very strange. I've been off, as you know, off birth control for a very long time. So not having anything in between. It was very like, whoa. Um and then walnut, I think it was sort of because I am so in tune with my body, it's like I knew right away. So I feel like I didn't really prepare myself for my last hurrah, my last drink, my last alcoholic beverage. And we all know, Walnut, that I love myself an alcoholic beverage. It was a warm can of pre-mixed margarita at the beach, and it was a spicy one. It was nice. I just think if I had known it was my last drink, I probably would have had a beautiful, delicious cold bottle of Sav with an ice cube in it. It was a sunny day. Um, but never mind. So I kind of like just had an inkling, and the moment my period was late, I was like, this is it. But I went on that big tramp, which was an episode in itself. Les went tramping, lol. And I thought, oh, okay, like my period was already late, and like I'm quite a regular little banana, and I'm very in tune with my body. It's a very regular period all the time. And I went on that hike, and I was like kind of in contemplation, like, okay, I think this might actually be it. Like, I don't actually know that it's it, but I've never had this late of a period before. And then I kept trying to be like, oh, I've been really stressed. I had that exam. I had a lot going on. But you know, I've never been that stressed for my period not to be that late before. And I thought, okay, this tramp is if my period is coming, this tramp is gonna literally like push out a period because that was hard, as you know, if you listen to that episode. Um but no, she never came. My bleed never came. So my last period would have been, um, yeah, last year. How strange is that? So I've been pregnant all this year, all of 2024. And yeah, so we decided, okay, after we do the tramp, we'll do a test. And we did the test, and it was very strange. And obviously, Geordie's been excited and happy and wanting to do this for a lot longer than I have. So he's over the moon and he's very happy. I'm still feeling like everything is really weird. Um, and as I've kind of talked with you a little bit, Walnut, I have quite the little spiral of what it means for me as a person, as an individual, for my identity, for a woman. It makes me spiral about the actual patriarchy and gender roles, and um, then just stuff like my whole body's going to change. All of the hormones, all of, like I can kind of spiral a lot. And that's what I was talking about with you, Walnut, where I've been actually, since I found out this news of my condition, I have been forced to be present. There's nothing else I can be because I can't track my weeks from where I am at in my menstrual cycle. I literally have to wake up in the morning and see how I'm feeling. Am I feeling sick or am I feeling fine? Am I titchy? Do I like it's literally take it day by day by day. And because things were so early, um, I couldn't think about the future or overthink or get into my spirals because anything could happen, right? Anything could happen. So I have been in this really weird state of mind that has been actually quite positive for my mental health, I suppose, where I literally have to wake up in the morning and ask myself how I'm feeling and just go with it. And just do what I need to do in the present moment for myself and put myself first and just rest up. So it's been really weird, Walnut. And one funny little story is after we took the test, we kind of like we had a little hug and we were like, whoa, whoa, like really like trying to hold in the moment, be like, what the hell? We're gonna do this happened. This really happened. I honestly could have punched Geordie in the face when he was like, I didn't think it would happen that fast. Hello. Hello. I knew it would happen that fast. You know, listen to me, fella. Well, I probably never actually even said that, but Anyway, um, so we had our little wall moment, and then and then we sat downstairs, and then we were like, what do we what do we do? No one will not actually tells you. And Geordie and I are the last of all of our friends, I think, to be in this situation. But nobody actually tells you what you're meant to do after you've done the weeing on a stick. And we looked at each other and we were like, shit, we don't actually know because you don't tell it. We didn't tell anyone. You can't tell anyone right away. Well, you can do whatever you like, Walnut. But, um, it's this little hidden secret that is so strange. And so, yeah, we looked at it. We're like, what the fuck do we do? Do we call the doctor? Do we like, we had no idea. So we ended up booking a doctor's appointment. And then the nurse rang me back at work and she was like, hello, what do you have need your appointment for? And it was sort of like I had to go into the back office and be really quiet because I was at work and I was like, oh, well, actually, I'm just at work, so I have to whisper. She was like, okay. And she said, what's up? What's up? And I said, well, I did a test on the weekend and I think that I'm pregnant. No, I don't. I said, I know. I said, and I took a positive pregnancy test and I don't know what to do. And she goes, first of all, in a little whisper over the phone, she's like, congratulations. Like whispering to me as well. It was so funny. Um, and then proceeded to tell me that usually a midwife will handle all of those sorts of things. So I kept my appointment just in the instance if I couldn't find somebody. I think I ended up canceling it, but she prescribed me the pills that you need as a pregnant person, which is folic acid and iodine, I think. And also walnut, my friend told me long before I found out about my condition, that you can get them for free or like subsidized from your doctor, um, at any time. So if you are trying to have a baby in New Zealand, Walnut, you can take these things before when you're not in the condition that I am in. You can take them if you're just trying, because it's good for all of the things. So fun fact, if you're in New Zealand, you can get those prescribed, and I think it's free. Don't quote me on that. Either it's free or it's heavily subsidized. I want to say free. But I digress. And so we ended up just on the hunt for a midwife super, super early, and the stars aligned with the one that we found. I probably will take a whole other 10 minutes to talk about the story of that. So let me know if you want to hear it, and I can do another episode of that. But it was sort of just like divine timing alignment how we found our one. And she's great. And so we've had two visits, and she even had a little doohickey where we got to like try and listen to like the heartbeat of the little baby. Um, and it was only a flutter because it was tricky to find. It was when it was a lot smaller than what it is now. And then just recently, Walnut, we have had our 12-week scan. So that's around 3 months. I will always try to translate what the months or years are, Walnut, because the weeks thing gets me bad. It really gets me bad. But um, so it is now the size of like a lemon. When you hear this episode, it might be a little bit bigger, but we've had a little scan and seen a little picture of it on the screen, which was a bizarre experience. And another thing I didn't know, Walnut, is how much they wriggle. I thought they kind of just float there like a sci-fi film, like in this like bag of goo. I thought they just like float, when you see like the alien movies where the alien's just like in the tank and it just floats there. I thought that's what a little lemon-sized baby does when it's in your tummy. Um, no, it wriggles around. It flips around and waves its arms and spins and things, and it was very strange when I first saw it. And now I understand why she found it so difficult to like find with the doohickey where the heartbeat was when we tried to do that a little while ago. But we've had that and we are just awaiting the full okay, but the scan lady said that everything seems fine and normal. So all going well. I don't officially know, but all going well. Everything seems normal, which is really cool. Hence the reason why I've decided to tell you about it today rather than waiting for the 100% results okay, because yeah, I mean, I can always just remove this episode, can't I, if it's not? But I suppose I'll keep you updated on the journey anyway, regardless of anything that happens. But um, yeah, Walnut, I have since then had a burst of energy. I felt a real shift in myself, and I believe it's because I've shifted from first to second trimester. Um, where I didn't in the first trimester, I didn't quite get necessarily morning sickness. I was very lucky and fortunate. I wasn't like throwing up everywhere or anything like that, but I was getting nauseous, and I found that my trick for that was to just snack all the time. Because if I didn't have something in my tummy, I felt like I was going to be sick and like had the saliva in my mouth, but I never kind of threw up. It's just this like nausicalness. But I kind of managed to clock that a little bit by just having always snacks on hand and just like eating things. And I was eating like funny, Geordie pointed out, I was eating like little kid snacks, like those potato sticks, little bags of popcorn, like little like the kiddie lunchbox snacks. And I was told that my midwife said, like, look, I don't care what you eat, just eat and just make yourself feel good right now. And we'll worry about, like nutrition stuff later on. There's a whole bunch of food you're not actually allowed or recommended to eat, Walnut. And I also cried a lot. I did have a Menti B recently. I don't think it's because of my condition. I really don't. I think I genuinely have been overworked and overwhelmed, and maybe it added to it a little bit. But prior to that, Walnut, everything made me cry. I cried TV shows. I cried a lot of things, but that's kind of passed a little bit now. And there was another thing I wanted to tell you about the condition and what it does during that time. I maybe need to reflect a little bit more and write it all down. I kind of wish I had maybe recorded this episode, Walnut, prior to as I was going through it, so I could actually have a more accurate log. But so you're just getting the cliff notes of the past sort of 3 months. Um, but I think the hardest part has definitely been not having a drink. And it's not that I am an excessive drinker anymore either, Walnut, but coming back out of summer, finishing work on a Friday when I just want a nice glass of Sav. I'm dying for a glass of Sav. Um, yeah, I think that's been the trickiest bit. But I worked out with Geordie that I have been sober for like 2 months, which is the longest I've probably ever been sober for, which is very strange. Um, that Thursday afternoon with my warm margarita on the beach, trying to remember it with fondness. Um, and yeah, so we decided to tell our parents sort of straight away-ish, I think within that week or whatever, we've told both our parents. And then we started to tell our sort of close-knit circle of friends because we decided I think commonly Walnut people wait until the 12-week, 3-month mark when you get the okay scan, just before they tell people. It's like kind of an unwritten societal rule. We decided that we wanted to tell our nearest and dearest. One, because everyone has done it, so we needed, we could get advice and support and everything. But two, we thought, well, if anything bad did happen, we would call on those people for advice and support anyway, right? So we decided to tell our nearest and dearest, pretty much as soon as. And it was kind of fun telling people at like different times and had different experiences with that. And I might pull on different podcast episodes of things that we kind of gone through um with sharing this um event with people. I also attended my first ever wedding sober, which was a very interesting experience, and that will be a whole episode on its own. So I can't wait to tell you about that because I was actually shocked at what a good time I had. Um, but yeah, so I'm getting my energy back now, Walnut, on the energy card. I've Geordie said he noticed like over the past couple of days there has been a little bit of more of a pep in my step. Um, but the fatigue, tiredness, Walnut was honestly like no other. Um, I find it very strange and interesting that during the time where you're not meant to tell anyone, particularly like, at work and things, um, well, not meant to, you know what I mean? You don't usually tell people, um, is the time where the woman feels the sickest, the miserablest, the time you need the most sympathy and support, particularly if you are working. Um, and you just have to sit there and pretend that you're okay. I had lots of the girls telling me, use your sick days, use your sick days. But as we know, as walnuts in general, that's a really difficult thing to do as a recovering people pleaser alone, let alone when you're not feeling actually well and got all the other things going on. But that really intrigued me. And there still is many a day where I was like, why the fuck am I working? This is actually so unfair. Then I spiral into like just like the not equity of things, and then how women have we do work harder. We work harder, like we have to contribute 50-50 and go to work at the same time. But like I was sitting there fucking pregnant. I got like my stomach is freaking stretching. I want to cry. I feel like I'm going to be sick. And I have to attend to just work, storm in a teapot, absolute crap. And I'm like, what? How is this normal behavior? Like, where is my little tent of women who will look after me while the men go and hunt me a deer and cook it? Like it was just like bizarre. And yeah, so again, that was the start of another spiral. But so I've had lots of little moments like that, Walnut, where it's been really tricky, but I have still managed to continue my 12-week challenge that I'm doing with Bronte. Um, 5 times 30 minutes of exercise a day. I've been still going for runs. I've been trying to be as normal and move as much as possible and do all of the things. Again, because I'm just present, because I wake up in the morning and ask myself what I want to do today and how I feel, and get through it that way. So I know that as a walnut, I try to push being present, but it's actually taken this condition to really force me into it, and really force me into looking at myself and how I am changing. And especially with that fatigue, Walnut, I had the reality check a good couple of times where, I'd work from home on my ass all day, then I'd log straight into PA work, and that morning I would have gotten up at like 6 to do a podcast episode, and I ended up doing like a 12-hour day, and it knocked me for 6. I was like dead for the whole next day and the day after because I just didn't have the energy like I normally do. My little sacral wasn't burning because it was busy trying to like grow my little, well, now lemon size, but before it was only little, and so all of my resources were getting pushed into this like little thing. So I've had that a lot of the time, and when I talk about being present, where I've just had to reality check myself and be like, okay, I'm starting to feel tired. It's time to actually clock out and really stick to it, rather than I'll just finish this, I'll just finish this, I'll just finish this, and oh, it's no big deal, and then oh, I'm sick. Like it's like I've really had to be like, okay, no, I have to, otherwise I'm literally going to be dead to the world for like a whole day, or so it's been this really interesting battle of finding new ways of myself. I got to have counseling session again, and I got to tell my counselor all about it. Um, yeah, so I guess Walnut, this is kind of just catching you up on the last little bit and all of the spirally thoughts that I've had in my mind. But as you know, I am an open book, and if you have any questions, let me know. And Walnut, if you do not care, um, if you do not care, because I get it. Believe me, I get it. If you do not give a fuck that I'm pregnant or anything to do with having children, I am not mad at you. I completely understand as a person who has like listened to children chat for a very long time. Um, I get it, and no hard feelings if you want to unfollow me or jump out of the walnut tree or just not listen to the podcast for a little while. But I am very conscious of me and my identity and all of the things that I am not going to let um being pregnant or becoming something's mum other than Kevin's take over my life. And that's actually something that I talked about in counseling. And she said, Lara, because you've done so much personal development work and because you're so aware of it, you're not going to lose yourself. Because I was talking about these fears of like losing who I am and all of that kind of thing. So I'm very determined, Walnut, for everything that I'm going through to still relate to you no matter what condition you are in, because it's still going to be me, the person, right? Um, so yeah, I just wanted to sort of say that. But yeah, if you really don't give a fuck and you don't want to hear anything about pregnancy or any of that, I get it, girlfriend, boyfriend, walnut, I get it. Totally and completely, and no hard feelings. I remember catching up with my friend who just had a newborn, and I was asking all these questions, because she knew about my condition. And I said, "Oh, sorry, you're probably like so over talking about it." And she said, no, man. I've been living and breathing this for like 3 months or however old her baby was. Um, this is all I got going on. So this is all I can really talk about. Which I thought was like the yeah, that's fair enough. So, um, I say that in complete polarity of what I just said, but I don't intend for me being pregnant to define everything that is going to be talked about on the podcast, but I do want to share about my journey, and as you know, I do have such profound, strange, spirally thoughts that I think will um they'll just come out as me, Walnut. It will just be me. Um, but yeah. I lost my train of thought, but I kind of was on a waffle anyway. But Walnut, I'm pleased to be able to share this with you. I've been kind of wondering when it was time to share this with the walnut tree, and so I'm glad to kind of let that kind of be aired out and have this be out in the open now, and I can just say things without saying like I'm forced to be present, but I can't tell you why. Um, so yeah, if you have any questions, Walnut, I would love to answer them as best I can. So many people give you advice um, because they're excited for you. And I've found because I'm trying to be present and take everything day by day, um, sometimes all of the advice, I had to filter it through my little brain because it would overwhelm me if I tried to think too far ahead. Um, So I've really taken to this like filtration system of like, what's relevant to me? What do I need to know right now? And how do I feel? How do I feel and what do I want to do? Um, which is, as a walnut, has been very odd because it's just, yeah. And in a way, I'm being born again myself because I've got all of these shifts and changes going on with me too. So yeah, I feel like it's kind of apt for Walnut Wednesday in general. Um, but I'm pregnant. There you go. There's a story. Let me know what you think. If you're in the walnut tree, come and say hello and let me know what's going on for you and if you have any questions, if there's anything in particular you want to hear about. No moral of the story. I'm just happy to finally be brave and share this with you because now at the point where I'm sharing it wide, um, means I have to take it seriously too, right? It's not just day by day now. Now it's like, okay, I'm still being present and day by daying and seeing how I feel, but now it's serious. Now I'm like, oh fuck, I have to do this. Or oh fuck, I'm gonna do this. And I know I will, and I know millions of women all the time do this, but yeah, lots of strange feelings going on. So I'm looking forward to talking about this more with you and sharing more with you as I navigate through this whirlwind of life. But yeah, got some energy, got some pep in my step. A light inside my fire divine energy fill me, make me shine. May you shine your brightest today, Walnut. May this give you a little bit of zest for life and a bit of energy. I love you so much. Thank you for being in my space and thank you for your time and for being here and listening and being a part of the Walnut Tree and of Walnut Wednesday in general. I just appreciate you so much. Have a happy Walnut Wednesday and I will talk to you next week. Bye.